Under the glow of the British royal family, the relationship between King Charles and Camilla has been a topic of endless controversy. The years they spent together, which seemed solid, have now ended with a decision that has shocked both Buckingham Palace and the public. King Charles and Camilla are no longer together, a truth that few dare to acknowledge but cannot deny. What caused them to part ways, and what is the story behind the lavish velvet curtain of the throne? This is what really happened. No one can determine exactly when the crack began. Could it be the expectation of power, the complex web of relationships in the palace, or has the prolonged silence become the final words they exchanged? If you agree with this information, please leave a 1 in the comments. If you think otherwise, please comment 0. Don't forget to enjoy the video and hit subscribe to support the channel, helping me gain more motivation to bring more engaging content. Camilla did not leave like a defeated person. She also did not try to cling to something that could no longer be repaired. She quietly stepped out of the frame, leaving behind all titles, all debates, and even the most public love story in England. Charles, who stands at the pinnacle of power, still maintains the demeanor of a king. But inside him is a man learning how to navigate between duty and a loss that no one ever taught him how to endure. No one has fallen. No one has declared victory. There is only a relationship that once challenged time, now sinking into silence. Like any final chapter in a royal chronicle. No noise, no explanations, and no promises of what will happen next. The public is stunned in a moment of disbelief. Social media erupts with millions of posts, ranging from shock to outrage, from curiosity to joy. News channels are replaying footage of Camilla at previous events, her enigmatic smile in a green silk dress at a charity gala, her steadfast gaze beside Charles at the coronation, where questions continue to arise. Why? What happened? Camilla Parker, once labeled as the other woman in Charles, and Princess Diana's fateful marriage, now finds herself at another mysterious crossroads. The journey of the Queen is a dramatic epic. From a forbidden love in the 1970s through decades of public disdain to becoming queen in 2022. A journey where every step is tinged with sacrifice and controversy. Diana's immortal words in her 1995 BBC interview still resonate. There are 3 of us in this marriage, and it's getting quite crowded. It is a haunting curse that refuses to fade. Nearly 3 decades later, those words remain as sharp as a knife, evoking memories of a painful era for the British monarchy. Camilla, despite having been crowned queen, still cannot escape the enormous shadow of Diana, a symbol of compassion, pain, and resilience. Camilla's ambiguous departure now reveals a harsh truth: the throne, no matter how grand, cannot accommodate 2 souls at once. But what has driven the woman who once faced the entire world to protect her love to this point? A conspiracy within the palace, a voluntary sacrifice, or an unavoidable failure? Just a few hours after the shocking announcement, the entire country of England and the world began to revisit every page of the past. Historians, commentators, and the media eagerly analyzed as if they were excavating the remnants of a dynasty. They referred to the Tampon Gate of 1993, the scandal involving the leak of a private, intimate conversation between Charles and Camilla. They recalled the broken marriage of Charles and Diana, the tragic death of Diana in 1997, and Camilla's quiet yet persistent entry into the royal family in 2005, as she tried to soothe a still angry public. Each event is a piece of the tangled Windsor puzzle, with Camilla being both the focal point of criticism and a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. However, Charles's statement is not just a public declaration. It is a tacit acknowledgement of a deeper crisis. Insiders whisper about heated arguments between Charles and Camilla in the days leading up to the news breaking, when their love, once defying the world, seemed to have fractured beyond repair. A source revealed that in a rare moment of weakness, Charles confided in an advisor, "I don't know if I can keep her by my side without destroying this monarchy." Those quiet words spread through the palace corridors like a chilling breeze, raising the ultimate question. What drove Camilla, who gave up everything to stand by Charles, to leave? Could this be a strategic withdrawal, a personal sacrifice to protect the throne, or an inevitable failure under the weight of past ghosts? In the dark corridors of the palace, whispers began to echo. Mysterious whispers, fleeting glances, and secrets waiting to be revealed. This story is not just about the departure of a queen. It also tells of a monarchy standing at a historical crossroads where power, loyalty, and betrayal intersect in a brutal struggle. Camilla may have left, but the storm she left behind has only just begun, promising to engulf the royal family in an unpredictable and fierce tempest. And somewhere in the darkness, Diana's presence still lingered as a silent reminder that the throne had never truly belonged to her. Buckingham Palace, with its cold stone walls and endless long corridors, had long been a secret tomb. But in the days before Camilla announced her withdrawal, the atmosphere became suffocating, as if the very walls were holding their breath before a storm. The usually reticent courtiers began to whisper about a frightening change. Camilla, as queen, had started to extend her influence into royal ceremonies, causing intense conflicts with Charles and pushing the monarchy into a silent crisis. An insider revealed that the tension between Charles and Camilla had been simmering for months as she began to interfere in important royal decisions. One evening in a private dining room where silver candles flickered on tense faces, Camilla boldly requested Charles to reconsider the schedule of public events. "We need a stronger image, Charles," she said, her voice resolute. "I need a larger role to reinforce our position in front of the public." Charles, his eyes heavy with exhaustion, replied in a firm yet calm tone, "You are the queen, but I am the king. There are boundaries that you are not allowed to cross." Those words, though gentle, ignited a powder keg. Camilla, her eyes blazing with anger, stood up abruptly, her green silk dress cascading to the floor as she left the room, without a word, leaving behind a heavy silence like a declaration of war. The crux of the matter was when Camilla unilaterally canceled the speech of the Princess of Wales. Kate believed that this speech was too focused on modern social issues and did not align with the traditional image of the monarchy. This decision shocked the entire palace and caused internal unrest. Kate, beloved for her grace and dedication, has drafted this speech to promote her charitable initiatives, a cornerstone of her role. When Charles learned of this, he confronted Camilla in his private office, where the ancestral portraits silently bore witness. "You have no right to interfere in Kate's work," he said, his voice filled with anger, his hands clenched as if holding back a storm. "You are undermining the unity of this monarchy," Camilla replied defiantly with a rare challenge. "You always defend them, but who defends me? I have sacrificed my life to stand here, Charles, and yet you treat me as if I am a mere sacrifice." The argument ended with a hand slamming on the table, the sound echoing like a battle cry, before she left, leaving Charles in painful silence. The discord is not limited to public issues. Camilla began demanding to be involved in personnel decisions, from appointing assistants to arranging the royal schedule. On one occasion, she even suggested that Charles replace a long-standing advisor whom she deemed disrespectful during a private meeting. Charles, weary of her increasingly escalating demands, flatly refused. "I cannot run this monarchy based on your emotions." The truth in his words pierced Camilla's heart. "You are talking about the monarchy," she replied, her voice trembling with anger, her eyes blazing with hurt. "But you forget that I have sacrificed my entire life to be a part of it." Charles, torn between his love for Camilla and his duty to the crown, became increasingly isolated. In a rare moment, he confided in an old friend at Clarence's house, his voice heavy with sorrow. "I love her, but sometimes I wonder if this love is a curse." "She wants more than I can give, and I don't know how to keep her without losing myself." However, those confessions, once spoken, spread like a cold wind throughout the palace, igniting whispers of a crisis not only in their marriage, but also in the very foundation of the monarchy. Meanwhile, William and Kate, sensing the tension, kept their distance, only intervening when necessary. A source said, "In a private moment with Kate at Kensington Palace, William remarked, 'This is my father's issue. We just need to ensure the monarchy doesn't collapse because of it.' Kate, with her characteristic understanding, nodded, but her gaze betrayed her worry. She was acutely aware of every misstep, every hasty decision made by Camilla, like a stone thrown into a calm lake, creating ripples that threatened to pull the entire royal family into chaos. In the darkness of the palace, the whispers behind the stone walls grew louder, signaling the impending storm. The conflict between Charles and Camilla was not just a personal matter. It was a battle shaping the future of the throne. On the morning of September 15th, Prince Harry's 40th birthday arrived in the crispness of London's autumn. The gentle winds carried the scent of fallen leaves, swirling around the ancient domes of Buckingham Palace, but the atmosphere inside was as heavy as lead. Harry, once the shining hope of the monarchy, the second son, with a bright smile and a free spirit, is now the most divisive figure. His departure from royal duties at the age of 20, the shocking interviews with Oprah, and the few memoirs have made him a pariah in the eyes of many, a stain on the glamorous image of Windsor. However, for King Charles III, Harry remains the boy held close with sparkling eyes when asked about the royal stables or the ancestral stories told in the sunset at Highgrove. In a rare moment of sincerity, Charles decided to call and wish Harry a happy birthday. A small gesture, but one that carried deep meaning. He hoped to demonstrate reconciliation, not only to mend his relationship with his son, but also to address the public's ongoing struggle between love and anger towards Harry. However, for Camilla, this decision was the last straw, ending an already strained relationship. In the private dining room of the palace, where silver candlesticks cast a shimmering light on the gilded walls, Charles shared his plan. "I want to call Harry," he said, his voice steady but resolute. "Today is his birthday. I can't let him think that his father has abandoned him." Camilla took a sip of wine, slamming her glass down on the table. The sound of crystal clinking against wood rang out like a warning. Her eyes flashed with anger, her voice sharp as a knife. "You really are going to do this after everything that kid has done?" She called me a family destroyer, Charles. She insulted us on television, wrote books to defame this family. Her words were not just anger. They were also brutal when hearing the accusation that by approaching Harry, Charles had betrayed her, the woman who stood by him through every storm. Charles, often embodying the calm demeanor of a monarch, could not contain his emotions. He stood there, hands gripping the edge of the table, his eyes heavy with sorrow. "I lost Diana, and I am losing Harry," he said, his voice trembling, each word tearing at his heart. "I can't lose everything, Camilla. I can't let my son think that his father doesn't love him." Those words struck Camilla like a knife. She felt betrayed not only by Harry, but also by Charles, the man for whom she had sacrificed her entire life. "You chose him over me," she cried, tears streaming down her cheeks, breaking the cold facade she had maintained before the world. "I stood by you through every criticism, every scandal, and now you choose a traitor over your own wife." But Camilla's anger was not only directed at Harry. She had noticed Charles mentioning Diana more frequently for a long time, as if her ghost lingered in every decision he made. In Charles's office, a large portrait of Diana was prominently displayed above the fireplace. It was not a picture of him and Camilla, but of the late woman, her sad yet captivating smile always present. "You say you love me, but your room is a shrine to her," Camilla said, her voice trembling with restraint, her eyes red as she looked at Charles. "Diana is still here in every thought of mine. Have you ever truly been present with me?" Charles replied, his voice tinged with a rare bitterness. "I haven't forgotten Diana. The public hasn't either, even when she was alive." The truth in his words struck Camilla like a poisoned arrow. Their argument lasted for hours, words sharp as knives. Camilla called Harry a stain on the monarchy, accusing Charles of weakness for failing to protect our honor. Charles, in a rare moment of anger, responded, "You talk about honor, but you don't understand. I'm trying to save this family. If I lose Harry, I will lose what remains of Diana." Mentioning Diana, even if only accidentally, was a devastating blow to Camilla. She stood frozen, her eyes red, before turning away, leaving Charles in painful silence, a king trapped between the throne and his heart. A guard outside the room later recounted in a trembling voice, "I have never seen the queen cry like that." As for the king, he looked like a man who had lost everything. The news of the argument leaked to the tabloids, causing a stir in public opinion. Camilla was furious with Harry. The public was divided. Some sympathized with Charles, seeing a father reaching out to his son. Others supported Camilla, arguing that she was completely justified in being angry about Harry betraying the reputation of the monarchy. 2 days after the fateful argument on a pouring rain night, Buckingham Palace was enveloped in a strange silence. The rain poured down as if to wash away everything that was about to happen. In the darkness, a sleek black car glided past the palace gates, its headlights dim beneath the heavy downpour. Inside, Camilla, the Queen of the United Kingdom, sat quietly, her eyes red-rimmed, her face etched with the lines of exhaustion and pain. No announcement, no ceremony, no farewell words. She left like a shadow, abandoning the throne she had fought her entire life to attain. A brave, freelance photographer managed to capture an image of Camilla bowing her head, her hand tightly clutching an intricately embroidered handkerchief. The image was like a sugar-coated bullet that appeared on the front page of every newspaper the next morning with sensational headlines, Queen Camilla has disappeared. Public opinion fell into chaos on online forums filled with speculation, ranging from mysterious illnesses to complex conspiracies within the palace. But within the palace, those involved did not understand that Camilla's departure was not just a personal matter. It was the culmination of long, simmering fractures. A few days before Camilla left, Charles accidentally found a small notebook that had fallen under her desk in the bedroom. Unable to resist, he opened it and immediately regretted it. Her handwritten lines rolled out from sleepless nights sharp as a knife. William was just a figure obsessed with image, lacking the depth to deserve the throne. If I were truly its stepmother, I would teach it to be loyal to family rather than chase after fame. But I will not raise Diana's children. Charles was stunned. The words, sharp as knives, shattered the last defense he had for Camilla. That day, he said nothing to her, only quietly walked out of the room. But his silence was sharper than any accusation. The night Camilla left, Charles stood in the hallway, gripping the crumpled notebook tightly, his eyes lost in the downpour outside. A storm was raging within him. Love, trust, and disappointment blend into suffocation. However, he does not stop her. He understands that what has shattered cannot be mended. Camilla leaves not because of public opinion, but because she feels betrayed by the man to whom she has given everything. "I have endured every curse for you," she tells a close friend before getting into the car. Her voice is choked. "But I cannot bear the fact that you turned your back on me." From her hideaway in Gloucester, Camilla disappears from the public eye. If you want to understand more about the story behind this unexpected breakup and its profound impacts on the future of the British royal family, don't miss the detailed analyses, exclusive interviews, and insider perspectives from the palace. Follow our page for the latest updates, share your opinions, and explore the untold secrets of the lives of King Charles and Camilla. Subscribe now so you don't miss any important information, because the truth is just beginning to be revealed. Close friends say that she spends hours gazing out the window, her distant gaze, as if searching for answers to the years gone by. Meanwhile, at Buckingham Palace, William and Kate have adjusted their public schedule to fill the void left by Camilla. They appear at charity events, their smiles bright, but their eyes are full of calculation. In a private conversation with Kate, William whispered, "This could be our chance to reshape everything, to break free from the past." Not only for the throne, but also for the soul of the monarchy. The media storm following Camilla's departure continues like a smoldering wildfire across the parched fields. From the calm tone of the Times to the sensational headlines of The Sun like "The Queen Disappears." The monarchy on the brink of collapse dissects every detail of this shocking event. On social media, millions of posts are flooded with speculation, from theories of a secret conspiracy within the palace to attacks on Camilla for abandoning the throne. But inside Buckingham Palace, a cold silence envelops the space. It is as if everyone is holding their breath, waiting for a turning point that could reshape the fate of the monarchy. King Charles III, grieving the loss of Camilla, has become more reclusive than ever. He avoids public meetings, refuses to appear before the public, and spends hours in his private office at Clarence House, where the dim light from the window casts a shadow on his gaunt face. On his desk, there is an old photo of him and Camilla taken on a beautiful sunny afternoon in High Grove. The bright smiles of both serve as a painful reminder of the lost days. A close assistant, one of the few allowed in during these days, revealed that he blames himself. He said that if it weren't for Harry, Camilla would have never left. But he also knows that there is no way back, that the cracks have run too deep. In a moment of weakness, Charles sat at his desk writing a letter to Camilla. His handwriting was shaky. "You are my other half, Camilla. I don't know how to live without you." But the letter was never sent. In a fit of anger and despair, he tore it to pieces. The fragments fell to the floor like the pieces of his heart. From her hideaway in Gloucester, Camilla severed all ties with the palace. The rustic house with ivy-covered walls and a quiet garden became her lonely fortress. A close friend, the only one allowed to visit, shared in a sad voice. She burned the old letters from Charles' letters she had kept like treasures. She said she did not regret loving Charles, but she regretted believing she could change her fate. Camilla, the resilient woman who once faced the world, now seems to be struggling with herself, caught between the pain of betrayal and the pride that prevents her from going back. William and Kate seized the opportunity to stabilize the monarchy amid the Storm Act with remarkable caution. They quietly modified the press releases, removed Camilla's name from major events, and increased their presence at charity activities, but they steered clear of the troubles involving Charles and Camilla like chess players waiting for their opportunity. In a private conversation at Kensington Palace, Kate spoke to William in a steady but firm tone. "This is not our battle. Father needs to face the consequences, and we need to ensure a strong monarchy." William nodded, contemplating. However, he knew Camilla would leave. A shock was an opportunity to reshape the monarchy in his vision. A modern crown unburdened by past scandals. From California, Prince Harry, upon hearing the news of Camilla's departure through the media, called Charles. The call was brief, lasting only a few minutes, but it carried the weight of years of distance. "I still haven't forgiven Harry," he said, his voice low but sincere. "But I am very grateful that you tried for me." Although the call could not completely heal old wounds, it still brought Charles a glimmer of hope. But it also deeply reminded him of the cost of Camilla's departure, the woman who had sacrificed her entire life to stand by him. After hanging up, Charles sat in the dark. His gaze drifted into the void, searching for an answer that he knew would never come. In the palace, the whispers continued, not only tinged with curiosity, but also filled with concern about the future of the monarchy. The silence of Charles, the isolation of Camilla, and the caution of William and Kate create an incomplete puzzle where each person carries within them a secret, a plan, and a private pain. In the days following Camilla's departure, Buckingham Palace was engulfed in chaos, carefully concealed by glossy press releases. In the secret rooms with their cold stone walls, royal advisors held emergency meetings to manage the crisis. A bold proposal has emerged from a prominent senior aide known for progressive ideas, downgrading Camilla's role from queen to that of a royal consort. This proposal has sparked intense controversy. Some argue that this is a way to keep Camilla in place without further damaging Charles's reputation, especially as the public remains divided about her. However, traditionalists argue that this is an unacceptable insult, a move that diminishes Camilla to an ambiguous, unofficial title. In these meetings, Charles remained silent, but his eyes revealed his torment. He sat at the head of the table, staring at the papers as if searching for an escape from the dry text. He recalled the marriage vow in 2005 with Camilla, witnessed by the gentle son of Windsor, "I will never leave you alone." Now he feels he has broken that promise. When asked to decide on the proposal, Charles simply said in a heavy, sorrowful tone, "I cannot choose between her and the monarchy." The silence from him was understood as tacit agreement, but in reality it was the paralysis of a man caught between love and duty. Camilla, having heard the proposal through a friend, issued a brief statement from Gloucestershire written on her personalized stationery. "I don't need a title to know who I am." The words, though brief, exuded an unshakable pride from a woman who has faced the world. But behind that determination, Camilla is deeply hurt. "They want to turn themselves into ghosts," she tells her friend, her voice trembling, her eyes fixed on the rain-soaked garden. "But I won't let them forget me." From her hiding place, she starts a new diary recording the years spent with Charles, as if to preserve herself before everything fades away. The public wonders whether Camilla will return or if she will only be a memory. Some believe she will stage a comeback using her absence as a strategy to regain influence. Others think she is truly too exhausted to face the ghosts of the past and the pressure from the throne. Meanwhile, William and Kate continue their work with perfect smiles and polished speeches, playing a secondary role in the crisis. They attend charity events, meet the public, and ensure the image of the monarchy remains stable. But privately, William told Kate, "We need to let Dad handle this, but if he fails, we will have to save the monarchy." Kate nodded, determined, ready to take center stage if necessary. As the power dynamics in London become clearer, this question looms over the entire kingdom. Is Camilla's departure the end or the beginning of a darker chapter? The House of Windsor, with its evident fractures, stands at a historical crossroads. In the shadows of the palace, whispered promises linger, a battle unprecedented not only for the throne, but also for the soul of the monarchy. And somewhere the specters of Diana, Harry, and now Camilla still linger, the eternal ghosts of the crown. While King Charles III struggles with silent grief as a king torn between the throne and a broken heart, Prince William, the heir to the throne, quietly lays the first bricks for the future of the Windsor royal family. Kensington Palace, with its peaceful gardens and cozy rooms, becomes the center of a silent revolution. In a private meeting room where the tall windows illuminated somber faces, William chaired a secret session to announce the Royal Image Reform Plan. Meticulously crafted with the Princess of Wales, this plan focuses on modern issues such as mental health education and climate change topics that they believe will connect the monarchy with the younger generation and a public eager for renewal. Standing before his advisors, William's voice was both steady and resolute. "We do not erase the past, nor do we erase anyone. We are moving forward to protect this monarchy, ensuring it remains significant in today's world." Camilla's name was not mentioned, but her absence was a clear void. The advisors understood that William was carefully avoiding any moves that could be seen as disrespectful to his father, while also building a monarchy free from the shadow of Camilla and past controversies. Charles, although invited to the meeting, sent a short letter through his personal secretary, "I trust my son." He approved the plan without any comments, but his silence spoke volumes. In a private moment at Clarence's home, when William updated him on the situation, Charles placed his hand on his son's shoulder, his eyes heavy. "You are doing what I could not do," he said, his voice tinged with sadness. But remember, Camilla is not the enemy. She has sacrificed more than you think. The gentle words warned William that Charles, despite the pain, still holds deep feelings for Camilla and does not want her to be seen as an obstacle to be removed. Kate, with her characteristic finesse, connected William and Charles. She ensured that the public messages balanced respect for Charles's reign with William's new vision. At a charity event for mental health, Kate spoke to the crowd. Her voice was warm yet authoritative. The monarchy is not just a symbol of tradition, it is a torch that illuminates the future. We are here to listen, support, and together build a better future. The public, previously wary of the troubles surrounding Camilla, began to support the new generation. Articles in the Telegraph and Guardian praised William and Kate as bearers of new hope. However, Camilla's shadow still lingers as a reminder of what was lost in the palace. Charles struggles with his pain, but begins to reappear at small events. The weighty look in his eyes now shines with a glimmer of determination, as if he realizes that to save the monarchy, he must be steadfast even with a broken heart. William and Kate, with caution and talent, are shaping a new monarchy. But they know that the presence of Camilla and Diana will never completely fade. On the day of the color parade, one of the largest annual events of the monarchy, the sky over London shone with rare summer sunshine. Buckingham Palace, with its fluttering flags and resounding trumpets, became the focal point of the entire kingdom. But when King Charles III stepped out onto the balcony alone in his bright red ceremonial outfit, his eyes clearly revealed an unshakable sadness. Beside him, William, Kate, and their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, wore bright smiles. But the absence of Camilla was unmistakable, noticed by everyone from the public to the press. A passerby in the crowd at the shopping center told a BBC reporter, "I never liked Camilla, but seeing her leave like this, I wonder what really happened." In his private office at Clarence House, Charles holds a small ring that Camilla gave him for their anniversary, a simple yet profoundly meaningful gift, engraved with the words, "Forever Together." Now it serves as a painful reminder of a broken vow. "I love her," he told a close aide, his voice heavy, his gaze looking out the window. "But I cannot keep her without destroying everything. Letting Camilla go without saying anything is the price he must pay to protect the monarchy from internal conflict. But that price has left a void in his heart that no throne can fill. From Gloucester, Camilla lives in silence, but she has not completely disappeared. A close friend reveals that she is writing a memoir, each page written during sleepless nights, as a way to tell her story in her own way. She wants the whole world to know that she is not the destroyer of family happiness, her friend said, voice full of sympathy. She is just a woman who loved and paid too high a price for that love. In her memoir, Camilla writes about the years spent with Charles, the time she quietly protected him, and the pain of being seen as an intruder. But she also writes about her disillusionment with Charles, the moments he chose the monarchy over her, and her departure as a reclaiming of freedom. William and Kate, while building a modern monarchy with innovative initiatives, have done so with deep respect for Charles. They attend public events from the hospital opening to environmental protection campaigns, always emphasizing that they act in the spirit of the king. But privately, William confides in Kate, "We are shaping the future, but we cannot erase the past. Dad still needs time, and we must give him that time." Kate, with her deep understanding, nodded firmly. She knew that to protect the monarchy, they had to balance innovation and loyalty. From California, Prince Harry watched with a torn heart. He avoided publicly commenting on Camilla's departure, but sent Charles a brief message. "I hope you are doing okay." This simple message showed that Harry, although still hurt, had not completely severed ties. But he still keeps his distance. His presence, even just through a phone call, can rekindle old wounds. In the darkness of the palace, whispers still echo, signaling an uncertain future. The throne, no matter how magnificent, still carries the eternal shadow of those who have once touched it. The separation between King Charles and Camilla is not just a tragic love story, but also a symbol of the profound challenges the British royal family is facing. Through the cracks in the heart and the throne, the future of the monarchy now stands at important crossroads, requiring renewal while still preserving tradition. No matter how their story ends, one thing is certain: history, and the public will never forget the mark they have left. And in the light of change, we will continue to watch how the next bricks will be laid to rebuild a stronger and more united royalty than ever before. If you find this video helpful and want to keep up with the latest stories about the royal family, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any updates. Please share this video with friends and family to discuss these shocking developments together. Your opinion is very important. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think about the future of the Windsor dynasty. Thank you for joining us.